Hello, my dear viewers. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have a question for you. Have you ever finished reading a book only to realize a few days later that you've almost completely forgotten what you read? Or maybe you wanted to apply some great ideas from the book to your life, but you just couldn't remember them? If you've ever experienced that, don't worry, you're not alone. In today's video, I'm going to share with you an incredibly effective method to remember a book for a long time. Not just for a few days, but for months or even years. And the best part? The more you read, the easier it becomes to understand. Sounds exciting, right? So let's dive right in and explore this method together. Step 1. Mindset. Choose a book that matches your level. Before you even start reading, the first thing you need to do is set the right mindset. It might sound simple, but this step is crucial. Imagine you're someone who's new to the gym. You wouldn't try to lift a 50-kilogram weight right away, would you? Reading is the same. If you're just starting out or haven't read in a while, don't pick up a 1,000-page book filled with complex terms. Instead, choose something thinner, lighter, and most importantly, something that excites you. For example, if you love cooking, try a simple cookbook. If you're into stories, pick a short novel. Here's a tip. When you're at the bookstore or browsing online, read the first 10 to 15 pages. If it feels easy to understand and hooks you in, that's the book for you. Now, if you're already a seasoned reader, feel free to challenge yourself with something more complex. The key is to choose a book that matches your current level so you don't get discouraged. This step is like laying the foundation. Get it right and everything else will fall into place. Step 2. Taking notes with codes. Capture the most important ideas. Now let's get to the fun part. Taking notes with codes. This is the core step that helps you filter out the key points from the book. As you read, keep an eye out for two types of information: important knowledge, things you find valuable and don't want to forget; actionable ideas, concepts you can apply directly to your life. Whenever you come across a sentence or paragraph that fits into one of these categories, do the following. Use a highlighter or pen to mark that section in the book. Write a number next to it, like 1 for the first note, 2 for the second, and so on. Then grab a notebook and write the corresponding number in parentheses, like 1, followed by a few words summarizing the idea and the page number where you found it. Example: suppose you're reading a book about life skills and on page 5, you find the sentence, "Prioritize the most important tasks of your day." You highlight that sentence, write 1 next to it, and in your notebook you write 1. Prioritize important tasks. Page 5. Super simple, right? Keep reading and taking notes like this until you have 10 notes. Why 10? Because it's a manageable number that won't overwhelm you, and it's enough to make the next step effective. Step 3. Review, reinforce your notes. Once you've got 10 notes, it's time to review. This is when you help your brain solidify what you've learned. Here's how to do it. Open your notebook and look at each note one by one. For each note, flip back to the corresponding page in a book and reread the highlighted section. For example, if your note says 1, prioritize important tasks, page 5, go to page 5, find the section marked 1, and read it again. Do this for all 10 notes. You might be thinking, this sounds time-consuming, but actually it's not. Since you just read these parts recently, reviewing them will only take about 5 to 7 minutes. The important thing is that it helps you ingrain the knowledge so you don't forget what you've learned. Step 4. Recall, make the knowledge yours forever. This is the most magical step. Recall. Science has proven that actively recalling information is one of the best ways to store it in your long-term memory. Here's what you do. Put the book away. You won't need it for this step. Look only at your notebook and try to remember the main idea of each note in your own words. For example, with the note 1, prioritize important tasks, page 5, close your eyes and think, oh yeah, this is about focusing on the most important things each day and not getting distracted by small stuff. You don't need to remember the exact words from the book. Just grasp the main point. Do this for all 10 notes. It's like a mini test for your brain, but it's fun and highly effective. It only takes a few minutes, and the knowledge will stick with you much longer than you'd expect. Bonus tip, the 50-note review for extra memory power. If you want to take your memory to the next level, try this bonus tip. Every 50 notes, stop and review all of them again. It might sound like a lot, but since you've already reviewed them in groups of 10, it'll be quicker than you think. It's like leveling up in a game. Each review makes your knowledge stronger and more durable. Why this method works. Wondering why this method is so effective? Let me explain. Most books are structured so that the early chapters lay the foundation and later chapters build on that. By reviewing and recalling after every 10 notes, you're mastering the basics. So when you get to the later parts, you won't feel lost or forget what the author said earlier. As a result, the more you read, the easier it gets to understand. Pretty amazing, right? Flexibility, adjust to your schedule. One of the great things about this method is its flexibility. If you have plenty of time, you can do all the steps in one day. Read, take notes, review, and recall. But if you're busy, you can spread it out. Read and take notes today. Review tomorrow. Recall the day after. You can even do it all in one day. Read in the morning, review at noon, recall in the evening. It's totally up to you. Just make it fit your life. Real-life example, how this method changed my reading. Let me share a quick story with you. I once read a book on time management, but by the end, I'd forgotten most of the tips. Then I tried this method, taking notes on key ideas, reviewing after every 10 notes, and recalling them. Now I still remember and use those tips every day. It completely changed how I read, and I'm confident it can do the same for you. Conclusion, imagine remembering every book you read. Just imagine you finish a book, and months later, you still remember its valuable lessons. You're not just reading for fun, you're truly making the knowledge your own. Whether you're a beginner with a thin book or a seasoned reader with a thick one, this method works for everyone. Give it a try with your next book. I promise you'll be amazed at the results. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. I'll see you next week. Happy reading. Bye-bye.